Joining me now to talk about gas prices, jobs, and some other hot topics, House Majority Leader Cantor. Mr. Leader, thank you for being here.
Brett, it's good to be here.
You heard in Mike's piece, House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi less than impressed with this bipartisan piece of legislation today, the Jobs Act. What's your reaction to her, and where does this go from here to the Senate?
First of all, we've got to start somewhere, and where we think we need to start is where the jobs come from the small businesses, and that's what this bill was about. For Nancy Pelosi to make the comments she did, I'd like to ask her to go make those comments to an individual, a man or woman who actually benefits from this bill and can start up a new business. And by the way, if she would like to go and say those comments to the people who actually get a job because of this bill, I think she'd get a completely different reaction. I mean, we're living in the world of reality, not some fictitious world that perhaps she'll live in. What the bottom line was today, we passed a bill that will help small businesses start up and grow in this economy. That's what we need right now. It's a bill to undo red tape. It's a bill to make it easier for small businesses to access capital, get out from under the Sarbanes-Oxley provisions while it first starts up. These are good measures that actually will produce jobs, and I'm glad we were able to prove today we can work together.
Well, you've passed a number of things out of the House that have not passed the Senate. Are you confident that this piece of legislation will remain intact as is through the Senate process?
Well, I'm hopeful that the Senate can act with dispatch. The President has already said he supports this bill. There seems to be nothing in the way or no reasoned position that you would object to the bill at this point, with a vote coming out of the House with 390 of us voting for it. I don't know when we've had a vote like that on a jobs bill in recent memory, for sure. And so it's important, I think, that we show the country that we're here for them. And that we're trying to work for them and not the other way around.
You know, I mean, the public in every poll has pretty low congressional ratings, and now congressmen and women are talking about how not getting things done is frustrating here.
Clearly, and that's why today is the first step, and what I hope is both sides learning to put aside their differences and come together where we can. And the theme of this bill, the aim of the policy underneath the bill, is to help small businesses. And you know, Brett, we're going to be building on this, because in a couple weeks we're going to come forward with a bill that provides for a small business tax cut, a 20% small business tax cut. Again, going straight at the job creators that we need to kick into action so we can get more people back to work. And we hope this same spirit will apply to that.
Let's turn to gas prices. As you heard Secretary Chu up on the Hill, that the price of oil is very complex. It's a world commodity. Do you believe that high gas prices are the president's fault?
There is a lot behind the reason why gas prices are why they are. Obviously, at the hearing today, there was discussion about economics and supply and demand. I think the Secretary himself countered Henry Waxman's statement that supply does matter. So we really should be doing everything we can at this point to unleash the energy potential we've got here at home. And my issue with the administration's energy policy is it just seems that they are hostile to fossil fuels. And any reasonable individual will tell you we are going to be a fossil fuel economy for some time to come. And so if that's the case, we do so, we explore, we can extract the energy, the oil and gas from the ground.
But they say production has gone up, Mr.
Well,
Leader.
I mean, I think the production that has gone up has been on private lands. I would posit that is due to the policies that have been put into place prior to this administration, because when this administration has come in, you can look at the difficulties that I have been hearing that have occurred in terms of permitting. I can tell you on the public lands or spaces, we in Virginia are one of the only states on the East Coast, if not the only state, that has said we want to see deep sea drilling off of our coast in a responsible manner. The administration is standing in the way and won't do it.
I want to turn quickly to politics. There are a number of members facing tough primaries, member-on-member primaries, because of redistricting around the country. In Illinois, today you endorsed Representative Adam Kinzinger over Representative Don Manzullo, both Republicans. It's nearly unprecedented for leadership to pick a side in a member versus member primary. Why are you doing this?
Well, Adam Kinzinger is a very close friend of mine, and I actually was part of the effort to get him to run. He represents the kind of individual that came to join us in the majority last year, that really is an individual wanting to go and implement and effect a reform. And it's the kind of reform, the common sense reforms that we stand for. It is to make sure we get spending under control. It is to make sure.
Is Don Manzullo against that stuff?
It is not about Don Manzullo. This is about Adam Kinzinger and the confidence that I've gotten him to represent the future of our party.
Just what do you say to people who look at that and say you're trying to build kind of your own coalition inside the Republican caucus, and that this is about young guns that may be loyal to you?
No, it's not. I mean, we have a group of freshmen here that comprise over a third of our conference, and what they've done is they have given us the ability to try and finally change the way that this town does business. Adam Kinzinger has been a strong conservative that has come to this town for the right reasons, and I think he does reflect the future generation of leaders for our party.
This is going to happen around the country, member versus member. Are you going to weigh in other races?
You know, again, I'm particularly close to Adam Kinzinger, and have the confidence in him that he can be and represent the mantle of leadership for our party going forward.
Didn't want to put it on one race, but it's an interesting political development as we head into that primary in a couple weeks. Mr. Leader, thanks for the time.
Thank you, Brett.